speaking as a physician, that it is not a mystery, the production of people who don't have skin pigment. That's a mutation to albinism. On the continent of Africa and, wherever there are people of color, that you can have a mutation so that the parents have skin color, but you end up with someone who doesn't have skin color. They might have blonde hair, they might have blue eyes, they might have pink eyes. That's called a mutation to albinism. It's like you can have mice, and you can have a whole group of mice, and then you might end up with a mutation. That's a change takes place in the DNA. Why the change takes place is not always clear. What causes a mutation? Like you have mutations to albinism being produced on the continent of Africa to this day. So we don't have to reach into, some strange kind of thinking to understand the production of albino mutants. If, for example, you could have an albino tiger, a white tiger. Perhaps you've heard of the zoo in your area has a white tiger. That's a mutation to albinism. The parents were brown, black, and dark eyes, and they might produce an offspring that may still have some of the dark stripes, but may be white with blue eyes. That is an albino mutation. And so you can have roaches. If you have a huge enough population of roaches, you will end up with some mutations to albinism. So we don't have to go far afield in our understanding to understand how mutations to albinism are produced. And so that is how white-skinned people were produced. And the black people on the continent of Africa presently mistreat the albino people that they produce. Some have been reported to being killed. I maintain that long time ago they pushed the albino mutants out of Africa. That's how, if you look at your map, and especially if you look at a globe, just look at the continent of Africa. Directly north of Africa is the Mediterranean Sea, and Europe is like a little tiny hat on the top of the continent of Africa. And if the black people pushed the albino mutants out of Africa, they would end up in Europe. So we don't have to go far afield. But then if the people who classify themselves as white, eventually they produced a large enough people to make up their mind, well, we're going to circumnavigate the planet. And when they discovered that all the other people are colored, they could decide, well, we're going to dominate these people. We're going to dominate and mistreat them. If we're going to survive genetically, we have to control them because they are genetically dominant and we're genetically recessive. And I maintain this is what happened.